Hey, welcome back to Postie TV. So I've got a new project coming up. So but first off, we got some exciting news. This weekend we're off to Fraser Island for a ride with the Red Bike Adventure guys for their men's mental health charity ride. Postie TV gonna take a trip up the beach and meet up with the guys. I think they're gonna try and ride up to the Sandy Cape that day. So it'll be great to see them. Great for a bit of a ride up the beach. Catch up with everyone, a bit of a party night, and so yeah, stay tuned for that. It'll be good to see. We'll do a bit of a video when we leave and up the beach and barge, and it's a bit of an adventure. So that'll be good fun. Looking forward to that one. So the new project is a engine build. I've had some really good comments from a lot of guys that have done engine work. And they've followed my videos with timing chains and all that sort of stuff. So like, no way am I a mechanic that knows everything. I'm like everyone else, have a crack, and sometimes I have to pull it apart and go again. So, but I've done a few of these engines now. So what I'm going to try and do is do a complete build, start to finish, of the Ct110 motor. Just a standard motor, nothing flash. What I'm also going to do is a 12 volt and a 6 volt. So I'm going to do the one engine, but I've got enough parts here so that I can show you how a 6 volt will go together and how a 12 volt will go together. So different flywheels, stators, etc. Different ignition pickup and module. So I can show you the difference between the two internally, and also I'm trying to just do one video that's going to, cover, if you're doing an engine build and you go, where's this go? For yourselves and for me to look back and go, oh, that's where it goes and how it goes. So there'll be a little bit of time involved getting it right and make sure everything's good and I don't lead you down the garden path. But yeah, it'll be a useful video for everyone to sort of go back to. As I say, I'm not a mechanic, so I'm sure these guys have done a lot more work on these engines than I have, probably have an easier way, but I'm just showing you the way I do it. You can take it or leave it. But yeah, I got some good responses, and it's good to see some people using the videos and helping out, and that was part of the charity build. So it was a good cause and helped some people out. So I thought off the back of that we'll do this build. So this one I'm building at the moment, that's my engine, but I've got this one I'm going to build up and probably be for my brother's bike or something like that. So it's just going to be, I honestly haven't decided if it's 12 or 6 volt. We'll see how we go. But Jared, a good mate of mine, has dropped off a box. So I have a box of engine parts. So there's a whole engine in there. Look at everything. And he's also dropped off the engine case. So he's had these dropped off and soda blasted for me. He had some other stuff done, so he's done these, which is awesome. One of probably the most important thing when you do an engine is everything's clean. Workbench is clean, all your parts are clean when you go, and any bit of dirt or sand will ruin it. So with the soda blasting, there's bits of sand and grit in here from the blasting. So we were going to change the bearings so they didn't take them out, but I don't know if you can hear that, but that's a bearing full of sand. So I'm going to have to really carefully clean these out, blow them out with compressed air, just to make sure that everything is out of that engine before we put it back together, because the last thing we want is basically a bit of sand going through our oil pump or up the cylinder or through the head. So even some of the threads have that grain in them from the blasting. So in saying that, it's cut down a heap of time with degreasers and stuff like that. So obviously this is going to be from the bare. So if you're going to strip an engine down, take note of things, how they go. You can use these videos as a reference when you go back to put them back together. But if you've got you know, parts you want to take a photo of, especially with the gearbox and stuff like that, and see how your engine is. And if you're suspect on something, you think it's not where it should be or how it is, you can reference with the video. So yeah, the gaskets and bits of gasket are still on here, you can see them. So really my first part, I'm not going to run you through it too much, is I'm going to have to clean everything. I'm going to have to take the bearings out that are still in here, clean all the gaskets off, clean out all these oil jackets and everything like that, and get it spotless before I start. I mean, the soda blastings gives you a really good finish. So I'll show you the stator cover of it. So that's our 12 volt one. So you can see it's come up pretty good. It's not like the polish, but if you want to polish or do something like that, this is probably easier to start with, something like this. There. I'll do a bit later, but I'll show you the difference between 12 and 6 volt stators, and it's pretty obvious. This is sort of something that stands out with the 12 volt. So anyway, we'll get to that. But basically, strip down the engine, clean it all up, make sure that everything's spotless. If you see something that's worn, you know, order your parts, get them together. It's good fun when you get into it and you have all your parts laid out, and you do any build. I think in previous videos you see my wall behind me that I'd put all the parts up and then I paint them all, set them up, and then bolt them together when I'm patient enough to wait for the paint to dry. Now little things like you can see here, this is a tensioner. It's jammed up full of stuff, so that's going to have to be taken out. Oh, it's probably locked off still on the slide bolt, sorry. We're going to take that out, clean it all up. It's got a rubber stop that goes on here, which goes between, oh no, actually I just spotted one in front of my eye. This is your tensioner that sits around and slides around. There's a rubber stop that goes between there and there, so I'm going to need to get one of them straight up. So go through, have a look for anything that you can find that you need to order. Always a good idea, cam chain, tensioners. So for example, this roller tensioner, see that roller's had a bit of a hard life. Other sign is there's cracking through here and bits missing off it. That's a bad one. Time to replace it. I think my good mate Jared has given me a brand new one in the kit. Legend, thank you. So you know, you can see there's no wear in there. I'll try and get it so you can focus on it a bit. So you can see the difference. So, you know, if you're doing a build while it's all apart, things like that go. Cam chain, bits and pieces. What else have we got in here? Any goodies? Oh, okay, so there's another pulley that sits inside the cylinder. There's bolt go through. So this is another one that's in a plastic, I don't know. But that's for the cam chain, it rolls on that as well. So I've got one here too. Again, that's a worn out one. See the new one, there's no damage basically. It's similar with the other rollers. So I advise on, if you're going to do any build, replace your cam chain and those tensioners. Cam chain gear at the top, also check it for any wear. If it looks like it's got wear, you know, replace it. I'll dig up one of them somewhere, and you can have a look at that. If you can notice any wear, you'll notice wear on the teeth worn down, like your sprocket on your bike. The other one is this guy as well. So this is your oil drive for the oil pump, and it runs off the cam chain as well. One sure sign is little cracks in here. This gets hard and perishes. And the other one is wear on the teeth along there, and you can see the sides have been worn down a bit. That one's actually not too bad, but it has a bit of use. So yeah, have a look at that. Other things to look out for too is uneven wear on your pistons. So where's a bad one? Alright, where is that something more sinister than just a lot of use? So you can see on this engine, I'm gonna shake you around while I do that, sorry. Then your con rod where it comes out, you've taken your piston off, you can see that, okay. Check it for play, so play side to side. This one's hardly any play at all on the back, so that's nice and tight. So the bottom bearings on that con rod and stuff are good. There's no need to replace them. This one here, obviously met a savage end. Would have liked to see that happen actually, would have been fun. It's actually not too bad, there's not too much, but there's a bit of play side to side. There will be a little bit, but if there's excessive play, it could be time to take the bearings off here. You need to get this pressed out and replace your con rod bearings. You know, check that you've got a bottom end, especially if you're going to put a bigger piston or something like that. They don't like too much horsepower going through them. So if they have a fault, if they're not 100%, you're going to find it as soon as you start upping the power, or you know, you do all the rest of the work and choose out your pistons because you haven't done that right. So yeah, for starters, that's it. I think that's going to be good fun. Hopefully I'll help a few people. That's hopefully a good little starter. You get your engine apart, get it cleaned up, look for any parts that you can see that need to be replaced. Order yourself a gasket kit, so you can buy a gasket kit with O-rings and all your gaskets you need. It's always a good idea, and then you just replace every gasket and O-ring you come across as you do it. Seals, I normally do that as well, so I'll get some seals. So you know, all these seals can get punched out and replaced. I think I've actually got some that Jared gave me in there. That's a good idea as well, because you're going to do the engine, you're going to do it properly. You know, I've done another video with little O-rings. There's one in here for the cam chain tensioner. On the other side there's one for the clutch adjuster as well. They're common things that leak, and they're inexpensive and easy to fix. So yeah, that's basically it. So cheers for watching, hope that helps out. It's going to be good fun and we'll get it done. See you next time. Bye.